Howdy folks, my name is Lance090 and welcome back to Let's Play Major Minor Complete Edition. Let's see, when we left off we made the big decision on what side to work for here. Looks like we finally made it to our tavern room. Took a few hours before the tavern came to a lull. I'm assuming it was the last call or something like that. I heard many doors open and close as things got quiet, including the rooms of Indy and Conrad. Were they going to sleep, or were they going to listen in case something happens? I'm suddenly a little paranoid that I'm being watched. Oh well, it's not like I was doing anything illicit. I made myself comfortable, well, other than working with people that I wasn't supposed to work with. Made myself comfortable in luxurious beds. Not sure if I dozed off or fallen asleep, but before I knew it, I was jerked into coherence. There was a loud knocking at my door. I took crooked steps towards it, utterly groggy. I rubbed my eyes in an effort to make my vision clearer. The knocking starts to get more vigorous in nature. I can hear someone panting on the other side. It sounds like someone is panicking. This kicks me into high gear and I rush to the door, but when I'm opening it, I'm not sure who it is. Oh, it's this guy. Oh, thank goodness he opened the door. A moment longer and... pants heavily as he closes the door behind him. He locks it as well. That's a little concerning. Sorry, I promise you no harm. I can explain. Please listen. Presses his back against the door. I'm assuming that nobody can open it with him in place, other than maybe Righty. He holds a piece of torn fabric. It's stained with blood. What? My master went insane. He attacked me and tried to kill me. Ran to the nearest place I could find. Opened my mouth to call for Indy and Conrad. He gasped and stepped forward, urging me to keep quiet. Says he doesn't want anyone to know where he is. Steps towards the middle of the room. He places his hand on his head in confusion. Why? Why would he do this to me? Player was always a kind master. Player? That's the one Indy and Conrad wanted to oust. He attacked his servant? Why would he do that? Suddenly I realized the urgency of the situation. If anything, this man's testimony could be invaluable. Ask him his name and give him mine in return. Of course, my name is Riley. Thank you for your shelter, Lance090. I nod. I start to feel uncomfortable near the door. I move away and place him between the door and myself. Stand against the wall, my back pressed against it. Not sure, you don't really want to have your back to the wall. Won't be here long, I promise. I just need to gather my bearings. It was a shocking thing, you know? It's all just thrown me through a loop. You'd never expect these things to happen. It's so sudden, I'm so scared. This is a meter suddenly changed, almost like his panic vanished in an instant. You think Indy and Conrad would have heard the loud knocking? He seemed to calm down rather quickly. He places the bloodied fabric on the floor. Why in the world would he do that? I decide to ask him what he's doing. Sorry, it's just making me relive this. I gotta get my hands off for good, or I'll keep dwelling on what happened. He stands up and looks me in the eye. And it needs to look like you struggled. You'll have to forgive me for this. Blech. That's why I said don't put your back against the wall. He pins me against the wall, squeezing my throat. I said don't do it. I start to panic and try kicking him off, but I can't. He uses his own feet to keep mine in place. Shh.
I need an adult.
I try to pry his hands off my throat, but he's strong. Start losing my strength, my vision fading. He doesn't look nearly as strong as the other characters we've seen. I slide down the wall with and my body becomes weak. Growls fiercely as I start to lose consciousness. The last thing I notice is the look on his face. Displays pure regret like he didn't want this. In the last few moments I hope that someone rescues me, but it doesn't happen. My vision fades out. Sleep well, Savior. I mean, we kind of get what we deserve there, because our character keeps putting his back against the wall for no reason. Well then, Rio, things are becoming more complicated. Many men aspiring to usurp my throne, and this time they're getting close. Closer than I've ever experienced. It's almost like a game to them, but it's trivial in the face of our goal. It's fun to watch, though. It seems that Righty suspects you, but his theories are incredibly wrong. Indeed. Our fault for being secret. People think that I have something to hide, or that I bear some sort of ill intent. Perhaps I should have been open about this. It would have been more noble, at least. Noble, yeah, but not fun. I like the idea of keeping it a secret. Why? Maybe my goal here is not to have fun. I seek a very important change. But my end of the bargain still stands. Yes, Earth is yours to play with. I have no need for it anymore. Not while Lance090 is present on Terra. Well, about that. I'll be sending Lance090 back to Earth, at least for the time being. Why? They have to keep up appearances. Can't just rob them from their home. We have to juggle here, Veloquez. They have 2 lives to live now, but don't worry, I'll bring them back. I just have a plan of my own to enact. A plan of your own? Indeed, life on Tokyo is going to change. Should be in Tokyo, right? Things were just me too boring before. I decided to shake it up a little bit. I see. You'll find out what I mean soon enough. Things will get harder for Lance 90, but it'll help him realize their role. Being the savior isn't all fun and games. The great danger will soon befall Tokyo, and will claim the lives of many more. Well then. Where am I and what's going on? I remember getting choked unconscious by Riley, but then why am I still conscious? I feel awake and disconnected. Like my spirit left my body or something. I'm still fully aware of my surroundings, or at least the lack thereof. Even so, I feel disconnected from my body. I already said that. Is this death? I feel a large rush of speed, much like the first time I was sent to Terra. This time I'm able to bear the pain more easily. As it subsides, I hit the solid ground with a thud. First, my sense of touch returns. I'm face down in some sort of carpet. Wait, the hotel room carpet back on Earth? My sense of sight returns. This fact is confirmed. Instincts want me to rise to my feet, but as it stands, that's currently impossible. I try to move my hands, but they're frozen stiff. And I mean in a literal sense, I'm so cold. How long was I lying here? Did the hotel not have any heating? After strenuous effort, I'm able to move one finger, then after another, then you get the idea. Focus on this until I can move all my digits. And this is through I have control of my hands. I'm using to push myself up, and then soon after I can move my feet as well. Bring myself to a standing position. It was odd, almost like I had to defrost. I scanned the room and noticed Killa was lying on the floor, in the same spots as we were before, like we hadn't moved since the news reports came on. The sun enters my room through a nearby window. It's not night anymore, day is broken. I rush over to his body and kneel down beside him. Give him gentle shakes while I call out his name. Frozen stiff, just like I was before. He's cold to the touch, like a lifeless corpse. I start to panic and shake him even more. My voice becoming more desperate, I call out to him. A few straight minutes of this, he starts to move. Follows the same procedure as myself. You get the idea. Huh? What happened? Did I just... Rubs his eyes like he's waking up after a long sleep. He lets out a long yawn and utterly confused. My body is so stiff. Mine is as well, but I brush that fact aside. There are more important matters at hand. I ask Killa what he remembers about last night. Place. Must have passed out in shock. I think it's all a blur. Please tell me that isn't true. If he died, what happens to us? I don't want to go home, Lance 90. Sounds like he's forgotten about the other part. He grips my shoulder and shakes me a few times. It's like he's demanding something he knows isn't real. I can't let him live some sort of fantasy world. He has to know the truth of what happened. So I'm letting him know that it was true. Clay's passed away last night and he was murdered. No. I want him to come back. We have to bring him back. Not sure how to respond to him. It's very clear that he's in denial. Are we not going to point out the fact that he doesn't seem to know about the other world? Starts pacing around the room, talking to himself. Soon enough, it seems like he's forgotten that I'm here, but it's not the only thing he's forgotten. I realize Clay's death is all he remembers. Doesn't mention Terra like it never happened. Why would he forget if I remembered? Does it have to do with me being the savior? If so, then why was he even brought at all? It's very confusing, and I skipped the arc this time. I have no idea why, and I'm filled with questions. I thought I was needed in Terra to save it. I can't believe it, but I want to see that man again. How could I go about rescuing Kalen if I'm on Earth? Something about this doesn't add up. Especially if Killa was right about the time difference, I have to get back there as soon as possible. There's no telling what could happen in my absence. I could have sworn that they said it was impossible to leave, that Terra was a one-way street and I'd be stuck. Before I can get too deep into my thought, my phone rings. I pick it up instinctively and greet the other end. The ring seems to shoot Killa back into reality. I know he zones out, but that was something else. Hey there, Lance 90. Jade is on her way to pick you up. She said she'll be there in 5 minutes. And don't turn on the TV, alright? I'm not sure if you heard the news or not, but the media is making a lot of stuff up. Better to wait and talk to Singe in person. Making a public statement soon, too. It'd probably be best if you waited until then. Either way, I have to go. See you soon. Abruptly hangs up the phone. I could hear lots of voices in the background. Things must be getting hectic for those close to Clay's. Wonder if these things would get hectic for us as well. Things were starting to get complicated and unclear, as they've been for the entire game so far. Start to wonder what fate awaited Killa and myself. Hey, who was that? Before I can answer him, the phone rings again. I pull it out of my pocket. This time it's a text. The contents of it send shivers down my spine. I'm watching you, unknown. What? Who could this be? Why are they saying this? It has to be some sort of prank. Well, let Killa know that it was just Rook. He said that Jade will be hitting us shortly. Then she'll be telling us the full story. Actually, we shall already be downstairs. Alright, see you down there then. Runs off as fast as he can. I can tell that he's in denial. He clearly doesn't want to talk about this, but after all that's happened, I can't blame him. Before leaving, I close all the blinds. I guess that text message got the better of me. If it was a joke, I wouldn't leave. It would leave anyone scared. I'll leave the room with paranoia eating away at me. Make my way down to the lobby. As soon as I get there, I see Killa exiting the hotel. He seems to be in a hurry, scurrying away. He can run, of course, but he can't run forever. Ooh. I start to follow, but quickly bump into someone. I take a step back and apologize to the woman, but then I realize I've seen them before, under the exact same circumstances as well. Aw, yeah. You? Oh, my apologies, that was rude. I was just surprised to see you here. Tokyo must be smaller than we think. So you're staying here too? I nod, remembering that Rook said it was expensive. If she could afford it, then just who is this woman? You can call me Max. It's short for Maxine, but don't say that. It sounds strange in these day and age. It's my grandma's name. I'm here for business, and let's just say my company isn't cheap. That kind of company? Only best when it comes to travel. The way she says this implies she owns a company. She definitely hasn't. That's definitely impressive, as she seems very young. See that you're on your way out. I'll let you get on with your busy day. I didn't mean to hold you up or anything. Perhaps if I see you again, we'll talk. It'd be nice to get more acquainted. Not just anybody can stay in this hotel. I'm sure you have a story to tell, and I have all the time in the world. With that, she walks away from me with a smile. As she does so, she plays with the gear on her necklace. I feel like I've seen that before. It stands out to me. It's on Hyena Jesus. I change my course back to the exit, but before I can get there, my phone rings again. It's a text message. As the tone didn't repeat, it's extremely hesitant given what happened before, but unlike Killa, it wasn't in my nature to avoid things. This time, the universe will not sway in your favor but mine. This doesn't make any sense. I can't believe it. It seems to be written with knowledge about my power, but I've never told anyone about my situation. Does someone on Earth know what's going on with me? No longer hope that this is a joke. There's more at play here than I know. Someone somewhere isn't being honest with me. I exit the hotel. I don't think it's ever really gone in my favor, though, our power. I met up with Killa and we entered the limo together. I do all of this knowing that I'm being watched, and that is much harder than it sounds. Hey, Chapter 4, The Stages of Grief. As soon as we enter, we take our seats. The first thing I notice is that we're not alone. Rather than the front, Inumi sits in the back, but he's not alone, he's sitting with someone new. So I've never met them, I introduce myself. Hey, it's Acheron! I know who you are. Oh? I mean, he does. I contemplate whether or not to offer him my hand, but at first glance he doesn't seem like the type, so I've learned not everyone is into handshaking. Especially in 2020. You're the lucky two. That requires a lot of dedication, you know, but that's the trait I admire most. There's a wide smile to Killa and myself. He offers me his hand, and I guess I was wrong. I accept, and he leaves it with a firm grip. So I think Acheron was also someone who replaced another character, because I think it was a wolf character that's supposed to be a police officer, and he had a falling out with Glace. However, Killa, does not. He remains seated. Let this man know that Killa is in shock, especially after the events that happened last night. I understand, it must not be easy. By the way, you can call me Acheron. I was hired to ensure your safety. I'm told that you will learn more shortly. I will refrain from giving anything away. Leaking information would be irresponsible. He reclines back in his chair with a relieving sigh. So we have someone to protect us now. That's awesome. Suddenly I'm not as worried about these text messages. He looks equipped enough to take on any trouble, but I still feel sorry for Killa. He's acting odd. I'm sure that giving time he'd come around. At this point, Jade starts into the limo and drives away. Not sure how long it'll be until we arrive, but I need to sort all this out in my head. It's crazy. So from what I can tell, I'm now being watched, but this person seems to know about my power as well. That perplexes me because I thought it was a secret. In fact, I've never told a single soul about the Ark. Maybe I wasn't the only one who's been to the Ark. There's more to this, I just needed to know. Hopefully I'll learn more as the day progressed. And with Acheron to protect us, I'd be safe. Take a deep breath and close my eyes. At this point, Inumi breaks the silence. I have a question, Lance 90. What's 75 multiplied by 110? 7,500? I think. Someone asked me earlier, I didn't know. Well, it's not in a state for good mental math. No matter what, that was just an odd thing to ask. Maybe found the silence in a little awkward. 8,250. Not extremely far off, but That's so cool, you're smart. My big brother used to help me with this. He was just too busy all the time. It's quite nice of your brother. I'd like to meet him in Numi. It was Clace. ... Sorry, my apologies. Oh, I have an idea. You could take over and teach me math. The teachers also said it was important. It could save your life, they told me. I suppose that's true. We'll have to see what happens. There's a lot on the table right now. Looking forward to Sinja's speech, the silence will be broken by an official. He's the most qualified to speak out about this. Sinja's really smart. He knows what to say and will make people happy. Maybe he can help me make me happy again. Yeah, it's never easy losing a loved one, but I'll make sure it doesn't happen again. Not while you're by my side, Anumi. Reaches over and rubs the top of Anumi's head. His hair gets messed up, but he enjoys it. A wide smile appears on his previously sad face. Okay, now that makes me happy. I was scared for all of our safety. I was worried we'd be next or something. Not on my watch, okay? Everyone will be fine. Smiles again like everything is completely fine. Acheron was really nice through his cold exterior. I don't think he had a very cold exterior. Feel bad for judging him at first glance earlier. It seemed like Anumi he'd be having... And Anumi seemed like he'd be fun to hang around with. That seems strange to me how that was written, but that's okay. Before we could continue talking, the limo stops. It wasn't that long of a ride as he expected. Anumi gets up to leave, but Acheron quickly interjects. Not now, Anumi, please. Let me go first. It'd be rude to expose you to danger. I'll make sure the coast is clear, okay? Wow, what a gentleman. He's definitely good at what he does. As he said, he leaves the limo first. A few moments pass and he waves us all out. Glad that the coast is clear, danger-free. It's time to get some answers and meet Sinj. Numi scoots out first. After that, I follow behind. Killa seems like he's still lost in his own little world. But eventually he follows, expressionless as a ghost. Outside, we're greeted to the side of our home base. I guess this is where we'd spend most of our time. This looks beautiful, with a complex modern design. Like to save your game. Yes. And I think we'll call it there. It's a little bit early, but we don't know how long it'll be till the next save spot. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, remember to hit the like button. Keep the conversation going in the comments, and subscribe if you want to see more. Until next time, I hope you have a good day.